Hey, so hello everybody. My name is Davidas, and I'm here with the company called AimRank. And with AimRank, we're introducing a new MMA ranking system powered by advanced analytics. And I'm one of the co-founders here, MMA enthusiast, but also I have the brains behind this whole operation, also an MMA enthusiast, a person who created this from the get-go a few years ago. This was your bachelor thesis project, right, Gediminas?
Yeah, thank you, Davidas. Yeah, and hello. And yeah, it actually was a part of the master's thesis. So
Masters.
so it's a part of the big paper, that I had done back in the day. And right, so to be honest, yeah. So
What is AimRank? I guess the question is.
what is AimRank? Okay, so AimRank. So the backstory behind the AimRank is that basically, as an MMA fan, I've noticed because when I was doing my masters, I had plenty of time to watch fights, to train.
Same.
And I've noticed that basically there is a huge differences between how ratings are being created in, for example, MMA and in computer games.
Yeah.
Because in computer games like Halo and like League of Legends, probably or the Counter-Strike, you have to be able to rate players quickly, because that's how you do the matchmaking, because you need to match very even players. And that's why the rating systems in computer games are very powerful and very sophisticated. And in MMA, you see all these basically the best system that we had in MMA, or the most official one, was the UFC one. And the UFC rating system is basically you just get a bunch of people, a bunch of journalists or the media people.
Yep.
And they vote.
Yep.
And there was like a really nice thread back in the day. Someone from Reddit really did a really deep research really on who is actually part of this group of people who are actually deciding the ratings of the MMA fighters, and there was like 20 people, like at least half of them are not even covering MMA as their primary job, they're covering with shops, or the I don't know. We have a podcast about cats. There is a bunch of people. So yeah, and that's where the AimRank really and all these experiments started. Really, we were trying, and I was trying really to try very different rating systems from computer games on mixed martial arts, and that was the beginning.
Nice. So this recipe now is applied across, what is it, 140,000 fighters with their statistics, with their, the peaks and valleys of their career, the performances, how long they take in the cage, what's their finishing rate, and what is their opponent rating. All those things are taken into consideration, and we get some sort of a outcome of it, a numerical outcome on which, based on that, we get the ranking system. So pretty sophisticated, all put through here. We've just released MVP, which is called a minimal viable product. We just released that to the public. AimRank.io is where you can find it. And there you can see all of the ranking systems, who's number one all time, based on weight classes, based on gender, pound for pound, etc. So this is just the beginning. There's more features are upcoming. I guess we don't want to just share what those are right now, right? But we want to encourage everybody just to go out there and take a look. And I guess we can do that ourselves now, right now. We will share on the screen essentially what you can see. So the pound for pound list, and I want to stop on the pound for pound list because the update has happened today. I'm not sure if you know, we're recording this on February 3rd, and as of February 3rd, Islam Makhachev and Alex Behera is actually number 1 and number 2 in pound for pound list. It's not John Jones anymore. And we took a lot of shit from actually bringing John Jones at the beginning, and it was not us, to be fair. It was just how, based on the algorithms and everything that Gediminas here and our colleague Dalius, you will see him in the future as well, folks. What you guys engineered, put together, we got the outcome that we actually, me personally, I really wanted to see that John Jones is number 1. Coinciding with what Dana White always says, that he should be number 1 and everybody else don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So it was that way. We got we shared that with the Reddit audience. I'll share some actually comments from Reddit later on. And yeah, we took a lot of shit. Actually, people were accusing us the word Dana White, just pretending to be these guys, putting this ranking system. But now that's not the case. Now it's after, I don't know why it has changed, but we have Islam and Alex as number 1 and number 2, and John is number 3.
Right. So basically, I can give you an update on that. Yeah. So basically, as you mentioned, today is the 3rd of February. All these. So basically, what we did here is basically we did a public QA. Yeah. So basically, we invited the Reddit users to come and check our system. So basically, it's no surprise now that our first attempt, they really showed some parts that probably needs revisiting and reviewing. So yeah, and we are actually in the process of doing it. So this is actually an update from this morning, but this is probably will not be a final version by the time this podcast or this information becomes public. Mm-hmm. Because actually we've noticed we are basically just improving and checking and optimizing, because in the end we want the system be both. So yeah, it's objective, scientific, accurate, but at the same time it needs to be intuitive. So it needs to align with the public perception. And there's definitely things that are arguable. John Jones, Islam Makhachev, probably, if you're gonna talk, with people over 30, they're gonna say John Jones. Like the younger generation, probably Islam.
Yep.
Makhachev, and there is also the fan bases and the regions, and people support different, but definitely they are one of the pound for pound grades. Yeah. So yeah, definitely we will be iterating on the system, and the more feedback we get, actually we will try to do our best to represent it.
Yeah, so the feedback here is necessary, and we encourage, as brutal or as subjective as it is, we like to take it all, because it's crucial for us to improve it. What the aim here is obviously to have an objective, transparent MMA system that is not based on any biases, that is not based for, some people liking one fighter just for personal reasons and not the other, because we know humans are flawed. I guess calculations are flawed as well, because there's a lot of context that's being missed, but there's, as we're moving into an AI world, this is becoming more and more possible to calculate, put a measure on every single thing, including the finishes or even a swagger that Conor McGregor brings, for example. But also, we cannot forget that swagger and the hoopla is one thing, but also the numbers don't lie. How do you perform? What's been your track record? What's been your opponents, and etc. So, we released first one. Now another release is this, and we see already some good changes, some positive changes, because I saw that Pantoja that is also another thing that was pointed out by Reddit fans. He was, I think, like top 40. Now he's top 10. He's number 9 in pound for pound list. And there's been many of those cases, like Shavkat Rakhmonov was above Bilal. Bilal now is number 4. Shavkat is not even in top 10. So yeah, changes are fluctuating fast. They go up and down, but
So actually, probably what you're seeing now actually probably was pushed this afternoon by Dallas. Yeah. So
nice.
so it's very fresh. Yeah. But talking. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting, but I just want to mention Pan Toja because it's probably one of the cases that really made us look much deeper than before, over the last week. So basically, yeah. So in short, to summarize, it's because flyweight in general is a much younger division, which with much less talent than others. Because these are small guys, and there's really not many fighters, and definitely not many good fighters in that division. So even though Pantoja and as well as Demetrius Johnson were very dominant, still their quality of competition were not as high for example as in lightweights. So we have these things now which we'll need to, which we're trying to find a way to balance it, but yeah, that's why it's a long project and a long way ahead, but
and it does make sense. I mean, that's why DJ was never so popular. People would.
Yeah, that's why they changed. They traded for Ben.
Yeah, the true hardcores always respected him, but he never got the same shine as GSP did, or Anderson Silva back in the day, and obviously the one and only John Jones.
By the way, talking about the DJ and Ben trade, the app verdict, where we talked, who are doing, the judging. Actually, I found out that there is basically an information that basically one of the angel investors behind the verdict is actually Ben Askren.
Ben Askren.
So he actually put his own cash into the project now, because
Ben Askren, I'll give you a call. I like him. He's open-minded.
Yeah, yes.
That's cool. All right, so just a quick review, which we'll share not on here, but you will see on the side of the screen, I think, is just going through the features. So the first one, if you go to aimrank.io, is pound for pound list. Then we go to the ranking system, and there you can, dissect the rankings. We're starting with the heavyweight, and number 1 is John Jones. Tom Aspinall, only number 5. Surprise, surprise, but I think we all would put Francis Ngannou ahead of him. Cyril Gane is just more tenured. He's got a higher rating. And Vadim Nemkov is number 4. Anyway, more on that maybe a bit later on. But there you can see, the average rating of the division. You can see the finish rate. Surprise, surprise, the heavyweight has the highest, 80% of finish rate, and how many total fighters we have in that weight class. You can dissect how many records you want to see per page. You can rank it first to last, and you can see who's number last, the very last actually. And also to see who are the top climbers, the biggest droppers in their rankings. We keep the score of those as well. I'd like to make a pause on here and actually ask you, Gediminas, regarding the rating. What is the rating? I guess when I said the numerical value, that you crunch the numbers and you put everything together and here comes this number. So I guess this is the number, right? The rating, that is the number, and the higher the rating is, the higher the ranking, or am I mistaken here?
Yes or no? Yes and no. Yeah. So basically they are very related, but it can diverge. So rating, yeah. So rating is our central one number. You can see as a rating basically as a one number evaluation of your skill and of your athletic achievement. So if you can imagine, I don't know, so basically if you've seen, there is this very nice thing, in statistics called bell curve, or the normal distribution. Yep. So basically, the same goes with the fighter skill rating, or the rating. So basically, what we see as a rating is basically the center or the mean of that skill distribution. There is like the other things, so like how wide that distribution is, or how narrow it is. So that's an uncertainty about the rating. So the more fighter fights, the more narrow it becomes, and the less he or she fights, the wider it is. And basically what it means is basically that fight outcomes have a big influence. Once you are certain about the fighter rating, so really the loss or the victory are not gonna move as much. But when you don't have a lot of information, so for example, the fighter had just like 4 fights, or he's been inactive for 3 years. So basically, so you have it wider. So it means that the skill distribution is ready for a big adjustment once the fight comes. So yeah, but in short, rating is the mean of that distribution. And what is the rank? So basically, rank is just, so you can see, probably a good analogy would be in basketball. Yeah, so a rating could be the points that you throw into the just basically your score points. And rank, so you can, let's say, there is the season, and let's say you make an average of those scores,
Yep. We're Lithuanians. So.
Yeah. And basically rank would be just your position in the group, or in the if it's NBA, in the conference, or so. The same with MMA. There is one rating, so one score, but you can be, for example, number 1, let's say, in your country, in Lithuania, but you can be number 10 in your weight class in the world, or you can be the number 2 in the organization, but be the number 20 in your age group, So there is like the different context, so the different slices, and this is and the rank is just an order of it, just the rank.
Okay. Well, yeah, more on this. I guess we'll need to dive into the future once there's more questions coming from the audience. But yeah, thank you for dissecting it. I mean, this guy doesn't look like it, but you can see he's a geek. So he can talk for days about this stuff. All right, so then we have the dissection between weight classes, as mentioned, country, organization, and we have plenty. It's not just UFC and PFL and Bellator and all those. It's Jesus Christ. I mean, you can scroll and scroll and scroll. How many organizations do we have here? Do you know?
To be honest, I don't know the number, but actually, yeah, hundreds of different organizations. So yeah, a
shitload. And we have a dissection between ages, which is pretty cool, I think, because you can see some upcoming fighters, like right now in our age group, between 21 and 24, we have Asaf Chopurov from Georgia. He's fighting in UAE. Is that? I thought that was a country. Is that an organization?
Which one?
Asaf Chopurov.
Yeah. That sounds like a country, but who knows? No, maybe. Yeah. So one of the use cases that we see that the rating systems can be used. So basically, again, so going back to Reddit and general opinion, so it's very easy to have opinion about like top 20 or top 30 or fighters because everyone knows them, yeah. So, but in the end, what we want is we want all of them, be represented objectively and accurately. And for cases like that, we want a fighters which are upcoming, the prospects really be noticeable and have a basically even a platform, where they can reach exposure, or the organizations can notice them, because like the casual fan will not know about them. So in the end, we that's one way, to make them visible.
Yeah. And we also have GOAT, greatest of all time ranking. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Check out AimRank.io. But also, as you go in here, you can save your favorite fighters. Is this feature actually working right now? Let me just see. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. So yeah, you can actually save your fighters.
Which fighters to save?
John Jones. Yeah, I have a lot. I haven't saved all of them. I just tested on John.
Actually, all I've been hearing from you, John Jones, maybe have a top 3.
Top 3 of all time?
Yeah.
It's too tough. I love MMA. It's so different than anything else. Like in basketball, you can easily point out like MJ's, Kobe's, Tracy McGrady to me. But
Tracy McGrady?
Yeah.
Yeah, that 13 points or whatever.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Moment.
45 seconds. But in MMA, it's hard. I think there were fights that I would root against John. Like when he fought Belfort, I was rooting for Belfort.
Really?
I loved Belfort until I realized like, oh,
Tier T,
he's a cheater.
Belfort.
I guess he wasn't a cheater, but yeah.
But to be honest, yeah, during that time, it was then an era.
Wild West.
Wild West, yeah. You could have gotten the Tier T exemptions, and like Chael Sonnen is a famous, famously saying, that he was juicing, as much as he could.
Yeah, so I would still put John there. To me, I loved Anthony Pettis. When I started watching, Anthony Pettis was my guy, because that was the time when he jumped off a cage and kicked Benson in the face.
Showtime kick.
Yeah, and I was definitely rooting for Conor.
I still think that probably the Showtime kick is probably the biggest moment of MMA of all time.
Yeah, it was insane. It was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the guy? Masvidal, obviously his knockout is up there, but it's almost, you don't know what happened. They just kind of collided, and Showtime was just so, it's like, from seeing from a movie.
The Ben Askren one?
Yeah, Ben Askren. Oh, sorry, Ben Askren, but still give me a call. That was a good knockout, though.
I mean, it's what, the fastest ever, 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering, really what actually I'm curious to know what place really Masvidal reached in the rating system with a streak that he had. What against Askren and some other fights that he won against. But he had a good break.
Beat the crap out of Nate Diaz for 3 rounds. Let me see, actually.
Try to find Masvidal.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't throw his name. So actually, as you press on a fighter or you search for a fighter at the very top of the screen, you can see all their statistics. And if you scroll down to the very bottom of it, you see the rating history, and basically that is where you see the arc, or incline, basically, of a fighter. And Masvidal has an I don't remember when was, but I guess, so the peak was 2020s, right?
Yeah, 2020. So he was 4th in his weight class, and also that's pretty high. So probably behind Kamaru and some couple other guys. Tyron probably Woodley was above, but not many more.
And he was slowly declining. Obviously, then gets knocked out by Kamaru, and the bad fight with Colby Covington and Masvidal not to be seen anymore. But yeah, one of the great peaks, and that's another thing. A lot of fighters, fighters as well, but also fight enthusiasts will say, well, there's no such thing as, the whole career is interesting, but also people are interested. So what is the peak? During the peak of their powers, like BJ Penn always comes into that question. Like during his peak, he was just as untouchable as Anderson Silva, but his peak was very short.
Very short.
Yeah. But yeah.
Actually, yeah. So BJ Penn, actually, what I've noticed also, today, by looking in the ratings, one other fight who had very short but very high peak is King Mo. Lowell. There was a period, when he won the Ryzen Grand Prix, and there was like a period that he had like a 6 or so fights, where he was like just knocking the best guys out. So yeah, there is. So yeah, it's very interesting. It really gives you a way to remember the past and really see from this new angle, and really remember what fighters had basically brought the MMA to the place that it is now as a fastest growing sport. Fedor, yeah, the legend, probably also my top 3 best.
Who else?
Yeah, probably Fedor. I just am a big fan of Ilya. I just think that he has really a skills. Skills really to be the best. Really, that's the best skill set that I've ever seen.
If he fights Islam, do you think he beats him?
That's a tough ask, man. But I'm giving 55% Islam, 45 Ilya. So I'm giving a slight chance to Islam, but I still think that Ilya has a very good chance. Yeah.
Interesting. I want to see that, of course. But I want to see Islam fighting higher weight classes, though. He's just too big to all these smaller guys. I mean, also, it was an amazing fight with Volkanovski, the
first one, yeah. Yeah, and just, I just, again, another thing, really the fans are saying, even though he basically beat Volkanovski, who is the pound for pound king, there is a big part of people who is too small.
Yeah.
Featherweight.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically, I think Khabib in one of the interviews said, why should Islam give a chance to another featherweight? He needs to build the legacy and basically the name
And he said he wants to fight like he can fight up until middleweight and challenge
Dricus.
Duplessis.
Dricus or Dricus. Yeah, I'm actually.
I don't see that, but
I'm wondering how that would look like. But as far as Luke Rockhold said, so yeah, the famous very big sparring partner of the Islam, that both Khabib and Islam really are not grappling. They are not fighting like the lightweights. They're huge and powerful, probably as good as the middleweight.
Yeah, to feel that, I don't want that in my life. Okay, so yeah, thanks. We've basically watched everything. You guys can follow us on Reddit, on Instagram, and on Facebook. We will be posting these videos, and I think this will become more of a regular occasion where we post things to review, obviously the features, but also what's changing in the MMA world as well. So yeah, we'll keep you all posted, and what we need you is also to keep us posted and bring your feedback. Speaking of feedback, we shared already, the news that we are out and this is MVP and we're releasing it. So as I said, we've been accused of being Dana White, pretending to be an MMA ranking system, that's not based on media input, because of John Jones being at the top at that time. So as you can see, we're not Dana White, we're not even American. We're trying to be as unbiased, as objective as possible, even though obviously we have our favorites, but the numbers is what matters, and the statistics and how you apply algorithms to that stuff. So there's no human input here. But also, we got some good feedback on our Reddit post, possibly the worst pound for pound rankings I've seen Shafkat being above Bilal. So as mentioned, we rectified that. Yeah, there's been a lot of this about Shafkat, and also how is it better than Fight Matrix? We don't really want to compare ourselves to Fight Matrix, but I don't know. How do you feel inside about this topic? Because people still want to, put us and compare us, but at the same time, we're trying to do a completely different thing.
Different, but in the sense similar. So basically, Fight Matrix is also at the very end. No, both the Fight Matrix and we are trying basically just provide a simple though accurate and transparent representation of fighter achievement. No, so basically just they're like different. People and different, I don't know, groups, who are trying to do it their way, and actually, and we have our own system, which I do believe, that there is a quite a significant part of science was put into it and will be put into it, just to make it better, but at the end of the day, we are all solving the same problem, and we are all want to really contribute to the amazing world of mixed martial arts, because all fans, fighters, organizations, everyone really deserves to see the true picture, and not biased by any politics. So that's our goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at some other nuggets in the feedback. Well, one guy says, "Let us know when the second iteration is finished." Bishop Greeds, thank you. Bishop Deeds, I'm sorry. We will.
Yeah, those random generated nicknames.
This is terrible. Francis should not be on there. Which
that's a hater.
Yeah, Shafkat over Bilal makes no sense. Okay, where the fuck is Pantoja? Well, I told you. Top 10 now.
Oh, yeah,
and Islam should be number 1. Well, yeah, I guess we rectified all those, but yeah, on Francis' part, I don't know why would you hate on the guy.
The same with John Jones. You just deny him, you love it.
Are you a fan of Francis?
I am, actually. I think I became much more of a fan of him. Maybe even, towards the end of his UFC career, especially. Of course, the Derek Lewis versus Francis fight was the worst of all time, but overall, I think he did a great things, and he's really a talented guy who started MMA at 22 or whatever, when he crossed the France. I'm just a little bit sad that probably we will never see the fight against John Jones.
Yeah, and ask people who fought him. They all feel the same way too. Although eye poking and the knee hyperextension stuff.
About the John Jones?
Yeah, people hate that about him, obviously.
Yeah, that's through mixed martial arts. Yeah, you're using all the tools, and you basically saw that they now allow the 12-6 elbow thing. That basically is the only fight that John Jones has in his record is basically the disqualification from this one. So technically, it's even undefeated. Yeah, now it really sounds like Dana White.
No, but he really is. I mean, we all know it's, and I'm sure that hardcores don't need to be convinced on this. This was always a stupid rule based on the fact that, they used to show karate guys breaking bricks with that technique, which is bullshit technique, not even the strongest technique. So yeah, and I mean, have you seen that fight? I mean, Matt Hamill was...
Actually, I haven't seen that fight.
Destroyed. I mean, John was so lethal with those elbows. Obviously, he's a deaf fighter, so he wasn't able to talk very well anyway. But back in the day, you got to see him and know how he talks. After that, he couldn't even say one word. He was so defeated. I mean, John just fucked him up.
Yeah.
And and that's a loss on John Jones' records, which is bullshit. So let's not forget that, folks, haters. John Jones has never lost a fight, and he's beat all the greatest. So, yeah, well, we'll see about Aspinall or Pejera in the future. But yeah, others, I don't know. There's a lot of Shafqat hate over Bilal, so as mentioned, we rectified that. So yeah, again, guys, keep it coming. We appreciate all the feedback. We're here to stay, and we're here to expand on this, expand on the features, and make this more and more credible source of the truth. Who's the best?
Yeah, so for probably to add on your point about the expansion of the features. So basically, yeah. So one of the things that we want to do, basically, next is basically we want to have a more back and forth way to use the public's opinion, like the crowd's opinion. So we will give a chance, for any user, for any user who really wants to evaluate how they think who's basically better, and we will try to first of all show those ratings, and probably in the future, once we have a lot of quality data, we will probably try to include fans' opinion basically in our central ratings too. So basically, we really want for it to be a community spirit and really have your say represented as well.
Yeah. I love this idea. I love this product. I love that you guys wanted to have me on board. I'm not a geek at all in this. I'm just a big fan and
Well, you will become
a talking head. Yeah, probably I'll become as we dive into these numbers. But yeah, this was great. Thanks, Gedimina. So to the rest of the group, out there in the world. We'll keep you posted. We'll try to share more of these videos, dissections, analysis, and discussions in the future. Not all of them maybe will be on video format, but we want to really show our faces. And too bad Darius couldn't join us this time. The third wheel, our third co-founder here out of three. But yeah, the next time we'll bring him over here as well and just have a nice chat about what AimRank has to bring to MMA community and how we revolutionize the rankings. So yeah, thanks again, man.
Thank you, Dave. It was really fun and nice talking to you as always, to geek about MMA, and to everyone. Thank you.
See you around.